Have you ever looked at your photos and wondered why they don't match the vision in your head? You might be falling victim to some of the most dangerous myths in photography. These aren't just minor misconceptions. They're creativity killers that could be holding you back from capturing truly exceptional images. I've spent years studying photography techniques and testing countless cameras, and today, I'm going to reveal 5 devastating myths that are probably ruining your photos right now. Amen. But more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to break free from these limitations and start capturing images that will leave people speechless. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because what I'm about to share might completely change how you think about photography. Trust me, you won't want to miss what I reveal about our 4th myth. It's something that even experienced photographers get wrong all the time. Let's begin with our first myth, one that's probably cost photographers millions of dollars in unnecessary upgrades. Myth number 1 states that more megapixels always mean better photos. This misconception runs so deep that it's become the primary marketing tool for camera manufacturers. But let me show you something that will challenge everything you believe about megapixels. Take a look at these 2 images side by side. These 2 photos look identical, right? Well, one was shot on a 48 megapixel camera, and the other on a 24 megapixel camera. Can you tell which is which? Neither can most people, and there's a fascinating reason why. Think about it like this. When you're collecting rainwater, would you rather have one large bucket or 10 tiny cups? A camera's sensor is just like that bucket. The larger sensor captures more light and detail, regardless of megapixel count. This is why a full-frame camera with 24 megapixels often outperforms a smartphone with 48 megapixels. Let me show you a real-world example that proves this point perfectly. Do you remember the iconic National Geographic photo of the Afghan girl? That image was shot on film, which by today's standards would be equivalent to about 6 megapixels. Whiner. Yet it remains one of the most striking portraits ever captured. Why? Because of light, composition, and moment. Elements that no number of megapixels can replace. Now that we've busted our first myth, let's move on to myth number 2. Another expensive misconception that's probably emptying your wallet right now. The second myth claims that you need expensive gear to take professional photos. This belief has probably cost photographers millions of dollars in unnecessary purchases. And after what I'm about to show you, you might think twice before buying that expensive camera you've been eyeing. Take a look at this stunning image on your screen. This photograph won a major photography competition last year. Any guesses what camera it was shot on? It was captured on an entry-level camera that costs less than $800. The photographer used techniques I'm about to show you that matter far more than expensive gear. What really determines image quality is understanding light, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. It's about mastering composition, which costs nothing to learn. And most importantly, it's about timing and patience, qualities that no amount of money can buy. Let me prove this to you with a simple exercise. Think about your favorite photograph of all time. Now, what makes that image powerful? Is it the camera's brand name? The number of megapixels? Or is it the emotion, the composition, the perfect moment captured in time? Professional-grade equipment can enhance your capabilities, but it's your understanding of these fundamental principles that truly elevates your photography. This brings us to myth number 3, a misconception that's probably causing you to miss incredible photo opportunities. Our third myth states that automatic mode is only for beginners, but let me share a story that completely changed my perspective on this. Last month, I was shooting a wedding when something unexpected happened. The bride decided to have an impromptu first dance outside, just as the sun was setting. The light was changing every second. You know what I did? I switched to automatic mode. And those photos? They ended up being some of the bride's favorite shots from the entire day. Here's what most photographers don't want you to know about automatic mode. Modern cameras have incredible computing power. They can analyze a scene and make adjustments faster than any human. Let me demonstrate this with 3 real-world scenarios. When you're shooting in changing light conditions, like at this wedding I mentioned, the camera's automatic mode can track and adjust settings in milliseconds. For street photography, where moments appear and disappear in the blink of an eye, automatic mode can be the difference between capturing or missing the perfect shot. Even in studio settings, automatic mode can serve as a brilliant learning tool, showing you exactly what settings work best in different situations. Now that we've debunked the automatic mode myth, let's tackle myth number 4, the one I promised would surprise even experienced photographers. Our fourth myth claims that cropping ruins image quality, and this misconception is making many of you delete potentially amazing photos. What I'm about to share might completely change how you approach image composition. Take a look at this famous photograph on your screen. This image has been celebrated worldwide and has won multiple awards. Was almost. Now, let me show you the original uncropped version. Surprised? The photographer cropped out almost 50% of the image to create this masterpiece. Modern camera sensors have so much resolution that you can crop significantly without losing meaningful quality. Let me demonstrate this with a practical test. Look at this landscape photo I took last week. The original version included some distracting elements on the edges. By cropping thoughtfully, I was able to strengthen the composition while maintaining excellent image quality. The key is understanding the sweet spot between composition and resolution, which I'll show you right now with 3 examples that will transform how you think about cropping. And now, we've reached our 5th and final myth, perhaps the most dangerous one of all. Myth number 5 suggests that more light always means better photos. This misconception sounds logical, but what if I told you that some of the most striking photos ever taken deliberately used less light? Look at these 3 award-winning photos on your screen. Each one breaks the more light rule in brilliant ways. The secret lies in understanding the difference between quantity of light and quality of light. Let me share a technique I discovered that revolutionized my low-light photography. I call it the shadow embrace technique. Instead of fighting against shadows, we learn to use them as powerful compositional elements. Next, we have the edge light method, where we use minimal light sources to create dramatic dimension in our images. Then there's the negative space approach, which transforms darkness into a creative tool. Finally, I'll show you the mood manipulation strategy, where we deliberately underexpose to create emotional impact. Now that we've exposed all 5 of these devastating myths, let me show you how they all work together to create a complete philosophy of photography. Remember how we started with the megapixel myth? Well, every principle we've discussed connects to create stronger, more impactful images. When you understand that megapixels are just one tool in your arsenal, that expensive gear won't replace good technique. That automatic mode can be your secret weapon. That cropping is a creative choice rather than a compromise. And that light quality trumps light quantity. You'll start seeing photography in a completely new way. Before you go, let me share one final secret that combines all these principles. Take a look at this image on your screen. This photo uses everything we just learned, and once you understand how these elements work together, you'll never look at photography the same way again. The lighting was minimal. It was shot in automatic mode, cropped for impact, and captured on an entry-level camera. Yet it tells a powerful story that no amount of expensive gear could enhance. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Leave a comment below with your biggest photography myth, and I might feature it in my next myth-busting video. Until then, keep shooting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep breaking these myths that are holding you back.